Hello, you are listening to Black, Sexy, Geeky, and Mental, a weekly podcast delving into the mind of a black, former burlesque performer, sci-fi fan with bipolar disorder. What we're going to do is talk with different guys about the book Think Like a Lady, Act Like a Man, because it was bullshit, and I hated it. So I wanted to talk to some guys that weren't of the Steve Harvey world and see what it would be like. What feels on point, what doesn't feel on point, because I know less than nothing about guys, which is why I read the book, admittedly. So I thought, let me talk to the source. And there are actually a couple things that I think that they are going to agree with Steve Harvey on, but we shall see. So my first guest is a podcasting powerhouse from the Where's My 40 Acres podcast. Welcome, Phenom Black.
What's good, man?
We'll say everything and leave it at that.
That works for
All
me.
right, everybody. So, yeah, exactly. So we've had a clusterfuck of a show until now, and now we're going to make it work. So I want to talk to you about a bunch of stuff. So how about I just tell you some of the... Okay, so I have to do the spiel about what it's going to be like. So I'm a chick, and I like wearing dresses, and I like dudes who wear pants and are gruff and are doodly dudes. You know what I mean? And so we're going to be coming at this from a heteronormative point of view. And sorry, sex-positive community, sorry, feminists, but it's the life I'm living, and I want to talk about the world I live in. So even if my guests are feminists or what have you, they're still dudes, and I want to get an outside, this alien point of view. So, yeah, he said a lot of bullshit, but I wanted to get specific into it. Well, first of all, do you know anything about the book or him, or what's your opinion on Harvey in general?
Um, I've seen both the films that the book is based upon, or that I've seen both the films that have become adaptations from the terrible source
Mhm.
material that he delivered to black women, unknowingly ready to read some old bullshit that they should have known as common sense, in my opinion. But I think that he says a lot of duh shit and makes it sound like it's very deep, and it's actually not. It's stuff that you should have learned. Some of it I understand some people guess might not know, but he says it in a way that I don't think is conducive to building up, um, to making women feel stronger or more empowered or getting out here and finding the penis that they want. I don't think that he is worried about women at all. I think he's trying to shape and mold them into these characters or caricatures for men to kind of just walk all over and feel like kings around. So that I don't know, man. He really talks to women like they just don't get it, and I don't think he respects them at all, to be quite honest.
Mhm. So, are you familiar with the book?
No, I've never. My mother read it, but I've never read
Oh,
it.
what did she think?
She read it because she reads everything. So like she'll read the Sookie Stackhouse novels for True Blood, and she'll read Steve Harvey's book just because it's there, and she's interested to see what he has to say. And she basically said the same thing. She said that it's a lot of stuff in there that is common sense, but the way he words it is kind of sounds like he's talking down.
Hmm. So I read the book, obviously, and I checked it out of the library again. Luckily, I was smart enough not to buy it. I checked it out again, and I've got a bunch of notes and a page full of notes, and I've got sticky notes in the book itself because there are so many ridiculous things. And the only thing that I'm not on the same page with you with is a little bit is that this stuff is obvious, because a lot of this stuff I thought came out of left field, and it was the bullshit stuff. And also, like, you don't know how severe my arrested development is, okay?
Hmm.
So Yeah, I am a weirdo, and that's okay. It makes me endearing, or that's what I tell myself so I can sleep at night. But I do think that some of the stuff, like for a couple pages, I was like, this is gonna be interesting. But I want to talk about some of the bullshit. So, for example, one of the big things he talks about is protecting a woman. What is your view on men and their natural instinct to want to protect a woman?
I mean, am I supposed to be like a ninja or something? I don't understand exactly what that means. Like, I protect
Here's sorry.
I protect anybody I'm with if it comes down to needing to do that. Like if I'm with whether it's a male friend, a female friend, a girlfriend, a wife, a lover, whichever, if we're in a predicament where somebody needs to be defended or protected, they're my friends or they're with if you're with me, then I'm not gonna just let some shit happen to you. So that whole I'm not about to throw spears to get a woman's attention though. Like I ain't gonna be out here like spear chucking for the pussy. That's not really what I'm down for. I'm very much further progressed than that. Sorry.
That's going to be the title of the show in my head. So I'll read you a little bit of what he said. So apparently, well, his whole thing is that men like feeling like they're protecting a woman, and that's part of the appeal of women is to feel better about themselves, knowing that they're protecting somebody is where he was coming from. And he told a story about an insurance man that came to the house, and he said to his mother, to Steve Harvey's mother, the next time I come here, you better have my money or else. So take that as you will. And then this is his father's reaction. He made Steve say what time of day he came, that the insurance man came around, and he came and he said, this is what he saw. When we looked out the window, my father had the man bent over a car with both hands around the man's neck. If you ever say anything disrespectful to my wife again, I will kill you. So, yeah. And it gets better. His wife used to do parasailing and scuba diving, and there is no way that anyone can protect somebody if they are scuba diving or, you know, parasailing. And so he made his wife stop doing both of those because he didn't feel like he could protect her doing them. And she did. She stopped for him. And her response was, thanks for caring. And she stopped. Thoughts?
You know how like when you read the Bible and you read the story of Noah and they tell you that they brought two animals, two of every animal, two of every insect, two of everything. You're like, I wonder how that species continued after that. Like I wonder how that just continued or two people or whatever. And then a flood came and everybody died and somehow humanity continued and you're like, oh, it just makes sense. That's what I feel like when you're reading to me what is written in this book. Like it's so ridiculous
It
and
is.
such a hyperbole that it can't be real. He choked an insurance man? Really? Like he felt the need to take off of work to do that? So he lost some money that day because he felt like he needed to choke the insurance. When have you ever been threatened by an insurance person? Like I will kill you if you don't pay your insurance. That's probably for your life that you will then get paid for if I kill you. That doesn't even make sense. But okay, pay your insurance or else, bitch. I've never heard that from State Farm. Like that's never been a State Farm commercial. Like that's ridiculous. And then he told her to stop. First of all, I'm surprised his mother parasailed and scuba
Oh
dived. I didn't know
no,
black people
his
did
his
that.
his woman, his
Oh,
woman.
Steve Harvey's woman.
Yeah, sorry.
You mean his man?
What?
You mean his man, right?
His wife.
His wife, man. His man, wife.
Oh, you're a terrible human being.
It's the truth. Um, the man's been married 3 times. He can't make a decision. It's he. So he told her to stop because he can't breathe underwater.
Yeah.
When you hear this stuff, does it sound like it makes sense?
Absolutely not. I'm telling you the bullshit parts.
Women read this and thought it made sense.
You know what? Here's the thing. He he extrapolates things that he knows, and kind of like his wife feels like a queen hearing that. And when, okay, so here's an example. I was at a club once with a friend, a non-boyfriend, if that makes any sense. I was like everything but his girlfriend, and he was a pussy ass bitch, right? And I have a friend who went with us dancing. Yada yada, somebody stole my purse, and he saw them walking towards the bathroom, and he said, "Do you want me to go after him or them?" It was a couple, and he was just furious, and he wasn't gonna. Well, who knows? But and this is my friend, and the other dude, he was just duh. And so my friend confronted them and said, "Did you see where her purse went?" And they were like, "Nope, don't know anything." And then they were in the bathroom together. It's, hint number one. And he goes in and he sees that my purse is in there, like behind the toilet. And he's like, "Do you want me to go after them? I will go after them." And that juxtaposition of this bitch just kind of looking at me like, "I don't know what you want me to do." And I'm not saying that he needs to chase somebody down, but the fury that my friend had to know that somebody was looking out, that did feel good. Now, if he would have choked out an insurance man or told me, "Amber, I love you and I want to make sure you're okay, so don't do X, Y, and Z," I would see it as some bullshit. But I think that he knows that there is a part of women that does like that does know somebody has your back in that way. But he blew it up. So I don't know if that
It
makes
depends on the
sense.
situation. It depends on the situation. Like, if I saw somebody trying to thief my girl's purse, of course, they wouldn't make it to the fucking bathroom. It would instantly be a, "Hey, where you going with that bag that's not yours?" But then, have you seen the Tyler Perry film Temptation?
Of course not. That
The
looks
one
gross.
where the life lesson is don't get AIDS by being a demon, having sex out here with people safely. That one.
Yes.
Well, in that film, there's a scene with was it Lance Grossman and I can't remember the chick's Journey, and they're walking down the street, and three men hassle her, right? And she flips out and she turns around. "I will fuck you up. My boyfriend will fuck you up. Yada 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 yada." Now it's three dudes versus Lance Grossman. In that situation, if I run, you should have been ran. That's We ain't gonna win every fight, and I'm not about to die over you feeling like I need to be a knight in shining armor. In those situations, like some situations, you just need to be smart and get the hell up out
Yeah.
of there. I've been out with my girl, and I've had a dude try to fight me. He was clearly drunk,
Oh
and he just
dear.
started cursing at me. He was just, "Oh, you motherfucker, you big fat motherfucker,
Oh.
I'll whoop your ass, you son." And I was just laughing, and I think me laughing at him made him even more upset.
Oh dear.
So, like and even in that situation, my girl was like pulling me, like, "Don't, no, don't talk to him. Don't stop laughing at him. Stop looking at him." And I couldn't help it, but I'm not gonna fight him. Like, that's ridiculous. And I'm not gonna fight three dudes because you feel like I needed to stand up and not be a bitch nigga that night. Cause I want to make it home. Like, I want to go home too. I don't like bruises. I don't like bumps. I hate hospital visits.
That.
And we just choked out the insurance man, so I might not even be covered if I show up at the hospital. So, like, no,
Oh
man.
God.
So it depends on the situation. Like, you gotta judge
Yeah.
it for what it is. But this whole that I stopped her from parasailing and scuba diving because I
Yeah.
couldn't protect her from gravity and drowning is ridiculous. Does he
There-
keep her from going on planes too? Because think shit happens, man.
Yeah. Well, we're on the same page, darling. Another thing that he said was two other things is, oh, this is a good one. And I don't honestly know what your response is going to be. I mean, with the protection one, I kind of gathered that you would think it as moronic as I did, but he says that men can't go a month without sex without looking for it elsewhere unless you're carrying their child.
You mean like
Thoughts?
physically carrying my child in their arms? I don't understand what you mean. What are you talking about?
With a child in a
So she
blessed
needs to be
way.
bearing. She should be bearing.
Yeah, if she's in a blessed way, then he won't stray. But if after a month you don't have sex with your man, then he's going to look for it elsewhere.
There was a lot of times in college then where I must have got a chick pregnant because I don't remember having sex for a couple of months because I just wasn't running around slinging my dick everywhere. Like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. If you can't control your own sexual drive, that has nothing to do with somebody not giving it up. Okay.
Yeah.
If you respect somebody and if you really are in love and you really care about that person, you won't put some time limit on how long they can not give you the nookie for you cheat on them with some other random motherfucker that you supposedly probably don't even care about. Does that even make
Mm.
sense?
Of course it doesn't.
I
I mean, what
cheated
you're
with
saying does.
yeah, I love you, but I'm gonna have to cheat on you because you know what I'm saying you ain't giving up the booty. What?
Yeah. I mean, I hear you, but that's just me. What do I know? Another moronic thing he said, this is off the topic of relationships, but just kind of puts in context what kind of guy he is. If you don't believe in God, then you have no moral barometer. Thoughts?
So all atheist people are evil and have no moral barometer and wouldn't save you if you was drowning because your husband was too scared because you was going scuba diving. What? Why does that? Every religion, every practice, almost all of them have one god. They might have many other gods surrounding it, but there's a main god. There's like a big dude who handles everything. Like that's the real god. This is the Zeus of our religion. Whatever. If you believe that, that's fine. If you don't believe in God, that doesn't mean that you're automatically an evil person or a bad
I
person.
I think it says a lot to what his faith, his walk with God, because it makes me think the only reason you do good things and don't do bad things are because a book told you to, or an imaginary person in the sky told you to,
But
and
isn't that
that's why
religion
you
as a
have to do
whole?
bad. Well, don't let's okay. I
I'm just
don't want.
saying when people go to
Um,
church, don't they? Aren't
yeah,
a lot of people are fearful. They're scared, and that's why they follow the rules.
yeah, exactly. Well,
You,
that's why I'm a humanist. I don't need a book to tell me to be good. I just kind of get that what good and bad are.
shouldn't it be that
Um,
simple though? You should just be good because you know
mm,
it feels good to be good.
people, child, please.
That's just like
Um,
I believe in God. I believe
mhm,
that there is a heaven and an afterlife. I don't believe there's a hell. I don't believe there's an actual hell. I think that that was something that was put there to put fear in people, to make
mhm.
them be better people.
I think that's what Jewish people believe too. Don't quote me. If you happen to be in the chat and you're Jewish, let me know. But I hear you. That you're not alone. I have heard people say it's a metaphor and stuff like that. I'm picking up what you're putting down. One other thing. If you're not attractive and can't cook, you're taking a man for granted and asking too much.
So where can I buy the attractive ruler from to measure that on women like that I just passed on the street? Like here's your attractive level, ma'am. You're a 7.
Even so, even if by every metric somehow across cultures there is a woman who universally was considered not as attractive as the average woman, I don't know. Let's just go with it. That is the worst thing I've ever heard. Like, I don't know why it strikes me so much, but it's so it's so indignant. You know what I mean? It's so.
He's
Where do
making
you
it
get
sound like
off?
he makes it sound like his view of what an attractive person is somehow like biology. Okay.
Yeah,
So he might as well have been saying if you have titties and can't cook, then you can't find a man. If you're ugly and can't cook, well, who says that person is ugly to them?
exactly.
That person might not be ugly to them. And who says that they can cook? Maybe their food tastes great to you and tastes like shit to me. Those two things are completely objective. There's my bad. They're completely subjective. There's nothing objective about either of those. So
Yeah,
that shouldn't be
it's
a lesson at all.
I think that even if somebody like this is something I heard. I once did a informal survey. Well, not even a survey. I stacked the deck. I said if there are because there's this whole thing, guys don't like marriage and blah 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 blah. It's a whole thing. Everybody says it. And so I said if you are a monogamous man in a marriage and you like it, write me. And it was a real boost, and I got some really beautiful letters and just people who were just so in love, and well, no, men who were so in love had no reason to lie to me and just said some really sweet things about marriage and how they felt about it. This one guy wrote, and he was like, yeah, I wasn't very physically attracted to my wife at first, but it made me cringe. It's like, oh, boy. Like, I never want to be in that situation. But if in his situation, if he's just, he's with her for her personality, the concept that she's taking him for granted, like she owes it to him to be a good cook or she's somehow being bad. That's what got me about it. It's like, I don't know, that's next level for me.
It's next level bullshit and it's little man problems. If you run around here telling people how they're not good enough for you,
Yeah.
and you're spreading this like you have a mother. So are you telling me that your father talked to your mother that way? Your father told your mother, "Man, you're just not a good enough cook tonight for me to eat this dinner." Seriously? What if his mother had said something like that? You're just not a hard enough worker to be my husband. You're not a good enough
I
jewelry purchaser to be my husband.
yeah.
You know.
It's on some bullshit. So the last thing that I wanted to leave on was on how to be a girl on a date and how to be a girl around the house. I thought that you would really like this. Don't tell him. So how to be a girl on a date. Don't tell him where you'd like to go. Tell him what type of food and atmosphere or whatever, and I guess he'll take it from there. Don't tell him you'll drive. Let him take you to where you want to go. Don't tell him you want to go Dutch. Don't invite him up for a nightcap. How to be a girl around the house. Don't try to fix the sink, the car, the toilet, or anything else. Don't take out the garbage, paint, or mow the lawn. Don't do any heavy lifting. Don't be afraid to make a meal or two. Don't wear a t-shirt to bed. A little lingerie a little lingerie never hurt anybody. One to grow on.
I didn't realize until you just read that it is probably possible for some men to masturbate with just their pinky finger. What the fuck does any of that have to do with anything that makes you an independent person, a good person to date, a person to build a relationship with, a person to carry on your life with? What? So basically, let your life overflow with shit for him to clean up. Okay, I got that. Don't make any choices on your own. Fuck your car, you don't need it. Fuck your education, you don't need it. Fuck an opinion, you don't need it. I don't understand. If you want a blow up doll with a voice box, you can probably purchase those off eBay, bro. But this whole feeling like women need to help you deal with your insecurity issues, that's
Mm,
just disgusting, bro. Like, grow the fuck up. You
mm,
telling people a woman how they need to be. I don't understand it. Like it. Fuck. If
I
can she
know.
take? The only thing I only have one rule. Can you take care of yourself? Because if
Mm,
something happened to me, then that's all I want to know is that you can take care of yourself. And from what it seems like to me, he is building upon women, and he doesn't want them to be able to take care of themselves. Don't
yeah.
try to fix your sink. Don't try to fix your car. Don't take out the trash. So if you die, her house she's supposed to turn into a hoarder.
I never thought of that that way. But yeah, yeah. He had one part I forgot to bookmark where he said the chapter is called something like "Rich and Successful and Lonely." And he has a section about how men like to protect. So if you have your own house, your own money, your own job, your own pistol, your own brink system, then what do you need us for? Hmm.
Because they like
Yeah.
you. How about that?
Yeah.
Because they like you.
No.
Because they're into you. Because they enjoy your dick. I don't. What else do you need? What else do you need? So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Your woman can financially take care of herself. She has common fucking sense. She has her own place, her own car. Like the only thing you have to worry about is spending time with her and having a good time. Oh, woe is you, my nigga.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That kind of summed it up for me. Is it preys on insecurity and fear, and really just tells people, or tells women rather, and men, that this is how you're supposed to be. This is your box. This is your lane. And be very afraid if the ghost of relationships past will haunt you forever because you were wrong. There was something about you that was wrong, and it will always be wrong until you turn into June Cleaver. But yeah, that was on some bullshit. But yeah, those were some of the talking points I wanted to talk to you about, cause yeah, I appreciate it. Any parting wisdom you wanna leave?
Please don't read this book. There's so much. There are actual authors, and they don't have to be feminists. There are actual women. There
Mhm.
are actual men who are writing books about how to build relationships with people, how to build. And most of those books, actually, the good ones, focus on you focusing on yourself. Like that's what their message is. Their message is get your shit together first. Then everything else will fall into place. If the book is telling you to get your shit together for other people, but it really isn't about you doing it for you, then you're reading the wrong book. You
Mm.
know, if you want to be a slave to a relationship, if you want to be a slave to a husband, that's fine. If you want to be a slave to love, go ahead. I just don't vouch for that. I feel bad for you. I feel sorry for you. You know, if this is what you're, and you're only reading it because it's Steve Harvey, like because his name is just synonymous with being a black. That's all it is. Like, oh, I recognize him. He tells jokes. Well, his book is a joke,
Mm.
so you shouldn't be taking it seriously. Like,
Done.
he's good on Family Feud, but that's about it. I'm not about to take this nigga's word advice by paragraph. Like, fuck his chapters.
Well, I hear you, darling. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. You're like big time and on my little show, and I appreciate that.
I am not big time at all. I'm a completely broke podcaster. Yeah,
Still, big time to me. And yeah, I appreciate this so very much.
no problem.
All right.
It's fun.
Rock on, cool kid.
All right, so what do I do now? Do I hit the button? Do you hit the button? Where do I go?
I'll hit the button.
Cool.
All right.
Peace.
CY, are you there?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yes, look at us. Look at us reunited, and it feels so good. Look at how easy peasy this is. Punk ass,
Right.
freak ass. Ugh.
Yeah, it's free guys. It's whack juice.
Mm-hmm. But yes, here we are. And frack. I'll do the plugs in post. I forgot to have him do a plug for his show, but I'll do the plugs in post. So yeah, here we are, and you are a dude as well, and I wanted to get your opinion about something. This is a continuation of a conversation we had on the Black Astronauts podcast, on the episode titled
Right.
something like "Feek is hard to love" or "It's hard to love Feek" or something like that. I'll put
Yeah.
it in the show notes.
Everybody hates feet, stuff like that. Right.
Yeah, there's who it was. And I wanted to, when we were talking about one of the, I think this is before I realized that the book was bullshit. I hadn't read it yet. I just knew about one of his concepts, and it's called the 90-day rule. And it's basically a way for a woman to get to know a man before having sex with him. Just wanted to read something real quick to give you an overview. Okay, more likely than not, a guy who gets benefits early in a relationship without having to put work in to prove himself leaves and moves on to a committed relationship with a woman who puts him through some type of probationary period to find out more about him. I'm sure there are women who lay out rules and requirements early on and let her intended know that he either rise up to those requirements or just move on. So yeah, that's his, in a nutshell, what the 90-day rule is about. And so tell me your opinion on the 90-day rule.
The rule is I don't want to say that it sucks per our conversation. No, I don't want to say that it's bullshit or that it sucks.
You can.
I think the 90. No, because per our conversation, you said something real to me, and it was in line with how I felt about the 90-day rule personally, where you were like, look, I know myself, and I know I need time to get to know someone. So, like, it's different if you know yourself and you're like, look, this is what I need in order to be comfortable, in order to have good sex, and willingly give. This is what I need. Everybody isn't built the same way. So I have to respect your point of view, because it still comes from a point of view that says that the responsibility is on the people and not just like some stupid ass standard. It doesn't make any sense.
Tell me about the non-making sense part.
Well, the part that doesn't make sense to me is that and maybe it's just for me because of the way that I think, like having sex is cool, but it's something totally separate from a relationship with somebody, which is more important. But maybe that's because I'm a little bit more mature in my sexuality, or I don't know if maybe I have to look at that piece. But to me, what's more important is the connection that you have with that person and figuring that out. And like totally taking your feelings off the table depending upon how you're feeling. And I'm not saying that everything should be sex on the first night or 4 days. Just the idea of putting a time span on it and telling a man, here's your time span, you just gotta sit down. It's like being in jail, like time out. Like you just gotta go chill and time out and show me that you can get out of time out. You dangle the cow. So it's like telling people, I don't have sex with anybody before 90 days. It doesn't matter. Well, what's your reason? Well, that's just my thing, and that's how I do it. That, as opposed to saying, look, I feel you, I'm attracted to you as well, but the way my feelings are kind of set up, I got to take a little bit more time to get to know you before we do that. I don't think you're a pig for asking. I totally feel you. Like, you know, I need a ShamWow right now. Like, it's got to go down. Like, but it can't happen. You know? Do you know how much a dude will respect the fuck out of that? Like, if he really digs you, he'd be like, all right, bet. If he really fucks with you, if you're just like, look, I want to pass out. I want to figure out who you are. You figure out and it can be better. If a dude really respects you, he will rock with you. But if you be like 90 days, pussy's on lock for 90 days, don't even look at it, don't even think about it, man, look, I'm out. Ain't nobody got time for that Gestapo, like, ain't nobody got time for that shit, man. Like, you don't even know what you want to do with it. You're unleashing, you don't even know, like, that's not responsible to me. That is not responsible to me. That is not responsible to me. That's like paying somebody to manage your checkbook. Like, for real? Are you really going to pay somebody to manage your checkbook? Do you understand what type of mirror facing of a mirror that is? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. So once again, you just tell somebody straight up, I dig you, but I need my time and I need you to respect my space and, you know, my sexuality. I respect the hell out of that. That's dope. But, you know, just putting walls around the pussy and, man in the gates, like for 90 days, no matter how you feel, no matter what happens, that's stifling. That's not even love. That's not even real emotion. Now I'm just, after 60 days, what if I'm an asshole, but now you're so horny, you're just sticking around to see what the dick's like. Like, it's how we make bad decisions and have babies by people we don't even fucking love on accident. Like, you don't even know this motherfucker. You got a baby with him because you made him wait 90 days and you were just in such a rush you didn't make him put nothing on, and he shot your club up and now it's over. Now you got a baby.
Okay.
All right, I digress.
Okay. We are not on the same page with this at all. And I don't even think it's because of the 90 days per se. I think that my instincts are, how do I say it? My instincts are to pounce, I guess. Maybe pounce isn't the right word. But I think that before I'm ready and before the guy is ready, I want to have sex. Right? Right.
No, pounce is a good word. I can tell you're a pouncer. I can tell.
Well, that's going to make me cry, because that's very aggressive. Glad I have that reputation. Well, thanks for tonight's nightmare.
I can tell. That's great. Like, you just know what you want. So, like,
I don't think that's
beautiful.
I don't. Yeah, it is, but I don't think that it is in line with. I think that my hormones are not in a line with where I want to be relationship-wise, and I think that if I went with my, well, it feels good now self, then I would be shutting myself out of certain situations that I would want to be in. And I think that the way you spoke about it was perfect, because that's exactly what I thought you were thinking. Thought men would think, which I think is horrible. It's like, it's on lockdown, you're keeping it away from me. All this stuff, like, I get it's important. And now I know how very important it is, because there are women, I don't think that this rule hurts anybody but guys. And I think that to say that they're hurt by it is telling. Because it's not like, oh, you don't get any affection, you don't get to know this person, you don't get attention, you don't get, the type of relationship you want. It's, you can't have sex. And to look at it. Because, talk to me.
No, it's not. Well, I'll say for me, it's not that at all. It's that here we are starting a relationship, and you're already telling me what I want, and B, telling me what I can't have. I haven't even decided if I want to. You made it up in my mind. Like, you see somebody and like you're like, yeah, I want to get in, and cool. And so you're invested in that part, and it's like you really decide, like, do I want to have sex with this girl? Okay, how much sex? Like, am I talking about socks off, or am I talking about, do I just need to get in there and break out? Like, we have decisions that we need to make too, and before anything starts, you're telling me what I can't have. It's like, damn, dog, this ain't no way to start no partnership.
Why?
Why isn't that a way to start a partnership?
Yeah, I don't think that less sex makes the world a worse place when you're at an early stage. Because I think that the point is that you're not in a relationship yet. You're not in a committed relationship yet. It's that you're just getting to know each other, and that introducing having sex as a part of the getting to know you process is confusing. That's what I'm saying. It gets things messy. You there? I cannot hear you if you are there. I will talk some more. Um, I do think that the 90-day rule is frustrating for guys because they see it as a punishment as opposed to a getting to know you period. And I don't know if it's because 3 months is so long. Oh, he left. That's okay. Um, it does feel like men are looking at it as a punishment as opposed to, like I said, a getting to know you period. And it does, it sucks that if I were to be a perfect match except for that, it does kind of feel like the 1 month rule that you're going to move on if you don't have sex after a month, because making the choice to wait 90 days is still a choice. You know what I mean? It's not arbitrary. It's saying I know, sometimes I don't know myself as well as I think I do. And so, yeah. And I think that, oh, you're back. Say something, darling.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, you're back. And you muted yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, cool. They trying to stop us out here.
I know. Nobody's going to break our stride. Nobody's going to hold us down. Oh, no. We got to keep on moving.
Take that. Take that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, yeah. So it does feel like men are seeing it as a punishment.
No, it's not. Like, it. I know, like I said, for me, and I can speak for my brothers. When I say my brothers, most of the men that are close to me, that I kick it with on a regular basis, I know how they mind work. Or at one point in time, we've talked about these sort of things. It's not about being punished. It's about part of the relationship. Like, can we sit down and have a talk about how having only come if you really are mature and you feel somebody like that? So it's a hard thing to obtain because it means that you have to make better choices as to who you even want to talk about sex with. Because I know a woman will meet a man and be like, oh, he's cool, but you know, I know when I want to have sex with this person. So you're getting to know the person, right?
Right.
And have a rule and something with somebody right away, like boom, get it, and you feel like, man, I could go home and just destroy this person right now and have a great time and probably see them next week. Yeah, I don't know. I just want people to have more options when it comes to love and like being cool with their feelings. And I'm not for people chaining up their feelings. I'm for people letting them be. I'm for it being smart, but you know, don't chain it up, man.
Exactly, like a punishment. Here's my problem. There is a woman, she's a gynecologist, and she deals with spirituality and stuff, and she talks about the high heart and the low heart, and she refers to genitalia as the low heart for women.
Yep.
And I think that having sex gets a lot of women, you know, that bonding drug in your body starts to flow, and if you do that within a certain amount of time, I think that the saying it's 90 days isn't necessary. It could be 60 days, it could be 30 days, it could be whatever, but having a incubation period where it's like, this is not about sex, this is about getting to know somebody. And I think that men think that getting to know somebody includes sex. And I would say that that's not the case for many women. that are the type of women we're talking about
Well,
that would
yeah.
want
Well,
to be in a relationship.
This works on two different levels. I'm gonna try to remember both of them. I know I'll remember one of them as I talk about it. I mean, the first level is just a real, like, men are asked to give of their bodies all the time, and I'm not saying that women aren't, but like our bodies are seen different. They're
Yes.
treated different. They're marketed different. Where we play sports different, for better or for worse. I'm not saying, as far as the sports thing that, it's anything that's better. I'm just saying we play sports different. We're willing to injure our bodies in different ways, where we don't really look at our sexuality as the most personal thing that we have sometimes. A lot of times for dudes, and I'll speak for myself, it's me that's personal. Dudes, we run on respect. We run on trust. That's just how we do things. And I'm not saying that women don't, but that's a big thing for us. That goes before feelings and a lot of other stuff. And I can't say all men, but I'm speaking for me and my brothers. I'll just say that when I say dudes. I'm speaking for me and my brothers. That's how we roll. And it's not because we're afraid of our feelings. I'm very in touch with my feelings. It's just that's the way we were raised. And no salt on how we were raised, how we did from different backgrounds, black, white, Asian, whatever. So to us, it's more personal when I let you in, when I trust you, when I give you that key to the apartment, when I let you check my phone. That's little stuff for some people. Or when I tell you really how I feel, like when you ask me a question and you really like listen to what I say. Like we act like it doesn't mean a lot, but it does. We want to be respected. And if you get a liberal dude, if you get a dude that's kind of cool, like it's not even about him being in charge. It's just about, look, let's run this together. So in terms of that, man, like trust, camaraderie, like it's a big deal for us. You already are like dudes, like, well, all right, well, if I really like her, I'll hang around. I'm probably gonna slide over here, or like, it's not even the days, really. It's just you ain't really trying to fuck with me like that anyway. Not right now. You making me wait. You dangling a cookie. Like, who wants to be treated like that? I'm grown as fuck. I am grown as fuck. Like, who wants to be treated like that? Like, tell me that you need time, and I'll respect that. But don't give me a set date.
Okay, here's my thing, and then we got to run away because I said till 9:30, and I want to respect everybody's time.
Indeed.
So for me, I think that, how do I say this? If a woman wants to be I don't know what will make somebody be in a relationship or not. I don't know anything about anything at all, obviously. But
why is that obvious?
It's a whole thing. I'm just came of age very late, just like emotionally and stuff, and I'm still catching up. And for me, I do know that a man will have sex with somebody he doesn't want to commit to. And why not wait out weeding those guys out? Because women will well, unless you're a horn dog like me, it's well, and see, but I've worked on that. I'm not that girl anymore. Well, whatever. That's for another show.
So but I'm saying, like, okay, you like sex, right? Right?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, good sex. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you go? As far as your like for sex on a scale of 1 to 10,
my like of it is a 10.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, what's wrong with that? Again, we are chaining up our feelings. You can be. Who said you can't be?
Men will have sex even if they don't want to be in a relationship. So why not weed those guys out?
So will some women.
Some, but we're talking in generalities.
Look, okay. So I will say this. I will say that there's there's a greater probability that there are more men willing to do that than women. But I will also say that that number is bigger than you're willing to let it be as far as women.
I don't know. There's more at stake for women.
I don't know, man. Y'all got your old faithfuls. Y'all got your little duck off dude that don't even look like he would fuck with you, but he's hanging it, and you've been fucking with him for a while, and every time you need it, you call him over, like I've been seeing.
What's wrong with that?
I like it too. What I'm saying, like, have that. Like, that's just somebody you
that's different.
just want to fuck just the fuck. Like, you don't want to be with them.
But that's different from wanting to be. The whole point of this thing is to be in a relationship. By the way, I'm not saying that it works. But that is not even what this conversation is. It's a matter of, is it healthy? And I think it is very healthy. But I think that we're still in the same place, and we're going to stay in the same place that we started off with. But I'll let you have the last word. Yeah.
I really respect your point. I see different things when we have this conversation. At first I felt like it was totally stupid and nobody should ever do it, and now I'm kind of like, well, if that's how you feel, but be honest with the person about how you feel. Don't just put a set number on it like it's a quota somebody's got to meet. Like, if you're just like, look, when I'm ready, then we can get down. Then dudes either gotta respect that or push off. Okay, so I enjoy this conversation. I think it's dope, and I am down to come through and talk sex and relationships and all that crazy stuff whenever. So,
thank you, kind sir.
No doubt. Can I shout out my crew real quick?
Knock yourself out.
Shout out to BAP, Black Astronauts Podcast. Look us up. We on the web, and we say follow me at CEEWHY612. That's Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. You can really just type in Google and all my music and videos. Find Black Astronauts Podcast. You follow me, and then I will show you where they are. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, and can you email that to me, because you cut out a little bit? So just email everything you want, and I will say it, and I will put it in the show notes.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely, and thank you, Sumiko, for being the holdout in the chat room. You rock so hard. Thank you. I want to say hi to you. I'm taking you off of mute. Take yourself off of mute. I want to say hi. Wait. I'm trying to... Oh, you've muted yourself. If you're there, I want to say thank you so much. Oh, you're off mute. I wanted to personally say thank you so much for hanging in there.
Oh, no problem.
So
I enjoyed it very much. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. And you have a, good one and all that jazz.
You too, hon. See you later.
Right. Bye.